Hello, today I would like to share some ideas that you can utilize with your alternately assessed students when you're working on either the Social Studies Passports Grade 3 curriculum, which is all about communities, or whether you're working on the ELA Essential Element W3.3, which is writing about personal experiences. And so, what I wanted to share with everyone, as we know, living in New York City, we have a wealth of opportunities for us to visit so many amazing places. And one of those amazing places is the Bronx Zoo. And what I love about showing the Bronx Zoo to my students is that it's in New York City, it's part of the five boroughs, and I just think it's a really awesome way to showcase what we have here in New York City right at our fingertips. And another way that we even more so have it at our fingertips is that the Bronx Zoo has some live webcams. Now, a lot of different zoos all throughout the United States has webcams so that you can definitely make your trip expand beyond just the five boroughs and beyond our state and outside of New York. There's an awesome webcam in San Diego. You can even go so far as to Australia and check out the coral reefs utilizing webcams with your students. So there's a wealth of opportunities that we can show our students with live webcams, which is even more cool because it's actually happening in the moment that we go through and we are showing them these webcams. So I want to share with you today the Bronx Zoo and a jam that I made with the Bronx Zoo and some different activities and different features that I like to do with my students and that hopefully you can use in your classroom as well. So you'll see here our objective is students will watch live cams at the Bronx Zoo and recall details from their observations. So we would go over where is our neighborhood, what is our community, whether you live in the Bronx, whether you're in Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, you can have your students identify the borough they live in, how it's all part of New York City, and how today we are traveling to the Bronx, right? And so here's a little picture of the train so we can pretend, right? We can have a pretend virtual field trip that we're going there. We're checking out these live cams. So I think it's a really fun way to get your students excited about some of the things that they have in their community at their fingertips. So over here, what you can also do is you can present some pictures or maybe some things if you knew you were focusing on one particular webcam. You can have some pictures to activate some prior knowledge for your students. So you could say, okay, so what do you guys notice here? What are some animals that you see? And then they can identify elephants, lions, giraffes, and zebras. And so can we actually go right now there to go see them? Or if we were to go outside, can we see these animals? Obviously, no. Where would we need to go to see those animals? And our answer, yes, we could travel abroad and go to different countries to see all these animals in real life in a safari, which would be amazing. But we can also go to a zoo, right? So if we wanted to stay, we couldn't necessarily get on a plane right now. Where can we go to see these animals in real life? And it's just a way to kind of get your students excited about what they're going to see on the live cams and get them thinking and associating what animals are at the zoo, right? And again, you can venture off into other animals. You can show different birds. You can show snakes, whatever you're interested in showing, whatever your students are interested in showing. It's a really awesome way to kind of activate that prior knowledge, get them talking about it, getting them thinking about it. And then I also want to share with you a really awesome video I found on YouTube. This is the SciShow Kids, which I've used before, which I really love. And this talks about why do zebras have stripes. So I'm just going to share a small snippet of it with you. Again, it's on YouTube. It's free access. SciShow Kids has a ton of science information. So definitely utilize that. Go there, check out everything. And we'll just check out a little bit of this so you can get an idea as to how it engages students and talks about things. So let's say we were talking about one of the animals that we have shown here. We have a zebra. And so you can even ask a challenge question, does anyone know why zebras have any stripes? And so then you can watch this really informative, cute, very short, which is awesome video. So let's check it out.
You're just in time. Squeaks and I were just looking into an animal mystery. We were looking through our big book of animals, and the last animal in the book caught our eye. It's a zebra. You've probably heard of them before. They look a lot like horses, but they have black and white stripes. Have you ever wondered why zebras have these special stripes? To find out, let's look a little closer at the life of a zebra. Zebras are closely related to horses, and they're a lot like them in many ways. They look a lot like horses, of course, and they run like them too. And and they also eat grass like horses do. But zebras are also different from horses in some important ways. For one thing, horses can be found in many parts of the world, but wild zebras only live in Africa. Zebras also have hair on the back of their neck called a mane that's shorter and spikier than it is on horses. And of course, horses come in many different colors and patterns, but all zebras wear a coat of black and white stripes. But still, not all zebras are exactly the same. There are actually 3 different species or special types of zebra. 2 of these species are named after the kind of place they live in. The plain zebra lives on the plains, where it's mostly flat and there's lots of grass and other plants to eat. Then there's the mountain zebra, which lives, you guessed it, in the mountains. The last species is called the Grevy's zebra, and it only lives in a few special grasslands in Africa. But all types of zebras have their famous stripes, and scientists have always wondered what these stripes were for. And this is what we're curious about today. Let's look at a few ideas about how these stripes might help zebras to survive in the wild. Some scientists used to think that zebras could use their stripes to recognize each other. It turns out that each zebra has a unique pattern of stripes, just like how every person, including you, has a unique set of fingerprints on their fingertips. Maybe by looking at each other's stripes, zebras could recognize each other and their families. But you don't recognize your friends by looking at their fingerprints, so we're not sure that zebras use their stripes that way either. After all, zebras have many other ways to recognize each other, like by their smell or by the sounds they make. So scientists have also thought that zebras might use their stripes to hide from predators. Lions and hyenas are 2 predators that often hunt zebras, so some have thought that the zebra's long stripes might help them stay hidden in the tall grass. But after looking closer, scientists noticed that the zebra's stripes didn't stop lions and hyenas from finding them. Instead, the predators used their noses to find the zebras by smell. They weren't fooled by the zebra's stripes at all. So maybe the stripes do something else. And there's one other animal that zebras need to keep away. Horseflies. Horseflies are big, pesky, biting flies, and they often bite animals like zebras, kind of like how mosquitoes bite people. But scientists have noticed that horseflies don't seem to like zebra stripes. Something about the pattern of the black and white stripes makes horseflies confused, so they stay away from them. So maybe that's it. Today, some scientists think that the stripes help zebras avoid getting bitten by horseflies. The stripes might work kind of like a built-in bug repellent. In fact, it turns out that zebras have the most stripes in places they really don't want horseflies to bite them, like on their faces. And many people have started using the answer to this animal mystery to help protect horses too. Some farmers have started putting zebra-striped coats on their horses to keep the horseflies away. What an amazing way to use what we've learned to help our animal friends. It's important to remember that there could be more than one right answer to a question, especially when you're dealing with nature and science. So scientists are still looking at all of the other things that stripes might help a zebra to do. Maybe you have some good ideas about what these stripes could do. If you do, ask a grown-up to help you leave your ideas below.
So again, a really cool idea. You can talk to your students about that. What do they think? Do they agree? Why do they think zebras have stripes? So just a really fun video that kind of gets our students excited about going to the zoo, seeing the animals in the zoo, and you can find videos on a ton of different animals, and they even have a specific like animal science section, right? So you can go into SciShow Kids, check it out, and see all the different videos that they have there on YouTube, all completely free, and they're really great to watch. So now that we did that, we got our students excited, we talked about where we're gonna go, we learned a little bit about zebras, we got their minds thinking about why certain animals look a certain way. Then you can very simply go into the Bronx Zoo website and go onto the live cams, and you will see all the different live webcams that they have. So they can check out anything. You can check out multiple places within the zoo without even having to go there. And it's really awesome. They're live, it says right here, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So we can't click on anything right now. But you will see they have Madagascar, the jungle world. So it explains everything that they have here. Some lemurs that are over here, more lemurs that are here. You can go to the sea lion pool, and then there's penguins, and then the aquarium, right? So some really cool features for the live webcam at the Bronx Zoo. It's super exciting. It's really fun to watch, the forest in Madagascar, jungle world, and then your students can check out something that's in their community, in their neighborhood, right? Or maybe it's within just their city, and that's really awesome. So this is, again, just one zoo. Like I said, you can go to the San Diego Zoo. There's a ton of different options if you just search them out, and there's definitely the a ton of different options. Like I said, you can go within the state, you can go within our country, and you can go outside of our country and travel all around the world. Just through live webcams. So I hope that this is a fun, different type of virtual field trip where they're just not watching one thing, but they're actually watching something happen in real time. And, they could experience what it's like to actually be at a zoo. So I hope this is a fun thing for you and your students to explore and experience together and talk about really cool things that are in their community that they could still experience even though we're virtual. So I hope you guys have a fun time going on to these live webcams at the Bronx Zoo.